Alright guys, so I decided to make birria tacos tonight. I know this is something that everybody is doing lately. It's a new trend, but I'm gonna do my version because I'm not so keen on the sauce. So I want to do the sauce that I like to do. So the ingredients is going to be your choice of beef. I'm using a sirloin tip roast. You need some queso or waka. I guess that's how you say it. You need some tortillas. I do not like corn, so I'm doing flour tortillas. Some lime, cilantro, carrot, celery, red onion, white onion, garlic, beef bouillon, fresh peppercorn, chile California, and chile guajillo. I guess that's how you say it. Sofrito, garlic powder, adobo, oregano, allspice, cumin, cinnamon, bay leaves, chipotle, and adobo sauce, and an instant pot to make you go faster. So let's get into it. Okay, so first we are going to season our meat, and then we need to saute our meat. So we're going to use black pepper, garlic powder, adobo, and this little mixture of seasonings that I love so much. So let's go ahead and just start doing that. You want to season generously, because remember, the beef is actually going to go inside of a soup base. So you want to make sure that it's all nice and seasoned. So you kind of want to be a little heavy-handed when it comes to your seasoning. So we're just going to go through here and season every bit of it. Okay, I have my meat all seasoned. I have my Instant Pot on saute, and I have it on hot. And right now, all we're gonna do is just saute this meat. All right, guys, I have my meat in there sauteing. I'm gonna have to do it in separate sections, but when I go in to use the pressure cooker, I'm gonna actually put all of the meat in there. Right now I'm just browning it, so I'll be back after I'm finished with all of the pieces. All right, so I have all of the meat browned. I went ahead and started chopping up my white onion, my carrots, and my celery. This is like the holy trinity whenever you're making any type of stock. So what I'm going to do is add that to here. And then I'm going to go ahead and season our meat with the seasonings that I showed you guys before. And then I'll get back with you. All right, I went ahead and I did all my seasonings. I added 3 bay leaves, and then I added some chicken broth. I know we're using beef, guys, but the chicken broth flavor is amazing. But I still have beef bouillon in there. So now I'm going to go ahead and just use the pressure cooker option on the Instant Pot. And then guess what, guys, we're gonna let this go and we're gonna start working on our sauce. All right, so we have our pressure cooker going. We're gonna go ahead and start preparing our chilies. All we have to do is slice off the top. We're gonna empty out the seeds in a separate bowl because we don't want to use those. You can use some of them if you want to, if you want the spice, but you don't want your sauce to be seedsy, if you know what I mean. So let's go ahead and get these de-seeded. All right, so I got all the seeds out, as you can see, and here are my chilies. I used 6 of each. Now I did leave some seeds because I do like the spice, but we're gonna go ahead and boil these to make them softer, and we're gonna get started on our sauce. All right, guys, so I have my chilies all ready to go. I am going to put it in the boiling water. You only want to let it go for about maybe 2 minutes. You're just trying to get them soft. That's all you want to do is just get them soft. So I'm just throwing them in here, and we're gonna also just Just like push them down just a little bit. Like, don't burn yourself though. And I have garlic left on here. We're not going to boil the garlic. We're going to put it in the sauce, but I had it already chopped up and ready to go. So we're going to go ahead and just let this simmer for a minute. Like I said, 2 to 3 minutes. And then we're going to finish the rest of our sauce. Okay. The peppers are finished. You see how limpy they are. They are finished. So now we're just going to add them to our blender. I'm using, what is this thing called? I forgot. But I'm using it. It's not a real blender, but it'll work. We're just gonna add that, and then we're gonna add the garlic and the onions, and then our seasonings that we have, the sofrito and the chipotle peppers, and we're gonna mix it all the way up. So let me go ahead and add this to the cup. I will come back to you guys once it's blended and ready to go. Okay guys, I finished blending up everything. So when you have it, it's going to be a little thick at first, but no worries, because when we put it with the beef in here, it's going to liquefy, and I'm going to show you that. Right now we still have 1 hour and 30 minutes for the pressure cooker to finish. So as soon as that's done, we're going to assemble our tacos. We're going to actually shred the meat. We're going to do everything that we need to do. So just set your sauce to the side, and then go ahead and clean up your kitchen and do whatever you got to do for the next 1 hour and 30 minutes. Bye. All right, y'all. It is now time to take the pressure cooker off and reveal what's going on up in here. Let me bring the light up to y'all real quick. Give me a second. There y'all go. So now that everything is done, we're going to shred the meat. In the Instant Pot, it took about 2.5 hours to do everything. But we are going to shred the meat. Remember, the carrots and the celery and the onion, all that was to give the juice some flavor. We're not going to actually use it, but we are going to remove the meat and we're going to start shredding it. So I will be back once I get all of the meat out of the pot. Alright, so I have removed every piece of meat I could possibly remove from the pot. Now I'm just going to go ahead and take 2 forks and I'm going to shred it. As you can see, it's falling right off the bone. That's how you want it. You want to shred it as thinly as possible, because at the end of the day, you are putting this inside a taco. So I am going to go ahead and continue to shred it, and once we are done, we are going to work on the rest of our sauce, and we're going to start assembling our tacos. So now that we have the beef all shredded up, we are going to start working on our sauce. Now, the sauce here, y'all, is very, very thick. So what we're going to do is take the juices from the beef cooking, and we're going to add it to our pot so that we can make it a little bit more liquefied. And then we're going to add it back to the stove, and we're going to let it saute just a little bit, and we're going to start preparing these tacos. Y'all, when I tell y'all this recipe is so on point, please try it. And if you do, tag me into it so that I can see it. Like, comment, subscribe, do all of that, you guys. I'll be back with you when we start assembling the sauce. I'm sorry, assembling the tacos. Okay, guys, I did forget to let you know that we are going to strain the sauce first. I forgot to tell you guys that before we actually cook it. So right now, I am going to pour a little bit in the strainer, like so. And we're just going to take our time. And all we're going to do is just move it around a little bit and let it strain out. So it is a time-consuming thing. But you do want all of the chunks to be out before you actually serve it for dinner, lunch, or whatever you are having it for. So let me go ahead and start straining it. Once it's done being strained, I promise you guys I'm going to come back. I will not leave you hanging. Goodbye. Alright, you guys, we have finished straining the sauce. I think it's called consomme. I just can't say it. As you can see, there's no chunks anymore. I'm I'm just reheating it. That's all I'm doing. Keep in mind, you're not going to use all of this sauce. So you can freeze it or you can refrigerate it and just make other things like quesadillas, burritos. I seen somebody make a pizza out of it. So, you know, anything is endless. But yeah, it should be like this watery kind of texture. Guys, the flavor is so good though. So we're going to go ahead and start on our tacos. I have the pan heating up. I have the meats ready. I have the cheese ready. And I'm just going to go ahead and throw some flour tortillas because I do not like corn. I'm going to go ahead and throw that in there. We're going to get started right now. So I have my flour tortilla because I do not like corn. We're going to just go ahead and dip it in the sauce like so. I'm using my hands, but please use tongs if you are not familiar with the kitchen. And what we're going to go ahead and do is just throw it in the pan and let it fry up a little bit on both sides. And then we're going to assemble the tacos. Yeah. There we go. Let it puff up just a little bit. Like so. It doesn't take long. Just remember that. I'm going to keep flipping it because I don't want one side to cook more than the other. And at this point, it's pretty much good for me to start assembling the taco. So I am going to add some of the cheese. Like so. Add that to the pot. We like cheese over here, so we're gonna add enough. Then we're just gonna put some beef down. Don't overstuff it because it's gonna be hard to flip if you do that. Just add some beef. That should be good. I want the people to get nice and full off of it. After you add your beef, have some diced up onions. That's what I'm about to add now. If you don't like onions, feel free to omit that from the recipe. However, this is what you're supposed to use. And then I have some cilantro. So I'm just gonna add some cilantro. Not too much. Cilantro has what do you call that? Like a bold flavor. So we just want to do just enough, and then we're gonna go ahead and flip it like so. And I'm just gonna press it down to get the cheese to adhere for most of it. And just move some of the meat out the way that kind of fell out. Then you wanna flip this side as well. There we go. Yeah, looks good, doesn't it? So you want to do the same thing for all of your tacos, however many you want. Keep in mind that usually it's a smaller tortilla shell, but I live in Texas and everything is bigger in Texas, so we're going to keep it as is. So let me assemble all of my tacos and I will come back with you with the finished product. Thank you.